Jai Hind students, today we are going to discuss microeconomics unit 6 producer behavior and supply market that is market supply, determinants of supply schedule, supply curve and its slope, movements along and shifts in supply curve, price elasticity of the supply and measurement of price elasticity of supply, percentage change method. So it's a part 1 video. So it's about the supply matter. So you had studied the demand. So it's just similar to that the supply can also be studied. Both are almost like, but it may be confusing. So you have to study in the demand portion. You may become a consumer, and in the this portion you must become a producer. So while studying that, you must think about if you are a producer, what will you do. So that's this portion. Supply refers to the quantity of the commodity which a producer is willing to sell at a given price during a given period of time. So that's the supply. Supply refers to the quantity of the commodity which a producer is willing to sell at a given price during a given period of time. So I had told you, you must become a producer. You must think of supply, that how you will supply according to the price. So if the price increases, always producer will think of profit making and he will be supplying more. And when the price decreases, he will be thinking of, he may be in loss condition and he will be supplying less. So it is having what direct relationship. In the demand portion we had studied about indirect relationship. So now we are just going to see the difference between stock and supply. Stock is the total quantity of commodity available with the firm at a given point of time. That is the stock that is being kept aside with the producer. That is the quantity that has been not demanded, or several factors may be there. Sometimes the producer may think that in future the price of the good may rise, and it may be sold sometimes after. So he will be keeping it as stock. So that is stock. Then supply is that part of stock which is available in the market for sale at a particular price during a given period of time. So the portion that we have been taken to the society or economy for sale, that is known as what a supply. So supply is that part of stock which is available in the market for sale at a particular price during a given period of time. Next is supply schedule. Supply schedule, as you have studied about demand schedule, that part you have studied about the price and quantity demanded have an inverse relationship. If price increases, the demand will be decreasing, and if price decreases, the demand will be increasing. So in the producer side, it may be having direct relationship. So what's the definition for schedule? Schedule is a table showing different quantities of a commodity which are offered for sale at various level of price during a given period of time. Individual schedule. Individual schedule individual schedule means individual supply schedule is a table showing different quantities of a commodity which a firm is willing to sell at a various levels of price during a given period of time. So that's the individual schedule. So how much the supplier is ready to sell. So you can just see at 1 rupee he is only ready to sell 20 quantity, and then at price 2 he is only ready to sell 40 quantity. 40 units of the quantity, and at the price 3 he is only ready to sell 60 units of the quantity. So as price increases, he is increasing his quantity supply, and he is bringing it to the market for sale. So when 1 rupee the price is 20, and when the conditions changes, that is when it becomes 2 rupee, he is ready to sell only 40, and when it is 3 rupee, he is ready to sell 60. So you can see that as price increases, the quantity supplied increases by seeing the schedule. 4 rupee, he is selling 80 quantity. So his aim is to maximize his profit. So he is selling like that. Okay. Next is market supply schedule. So you know that there may be different sellers. So here two sellers are there, A and B. So how many quantity they are ready to, how much quantity they are ready to sell we are going to see here. So at 1 rupee, seller A is ready to sell 20 and seller B is ready to sell 5. So at the total market price, that is SA plus SV, is total market supplied is equal to 20 plus this 20 plus 5, that is equal to 25. Then at a rupee price 2, he is ready to first person is ready to sell 40, second person is ready to sell 10, and by adding these two you will be getting 40 plus 10 equal to 50. So at the 3 rupee, he is ready to, first person is ready to sell 60 and second person is ready to sell 20, and this by adding these two you will be getting 80. And at 4th rupee, he is ready to sell 80 and he is ready to sell 30. Then 80 plus 30 is equal to 110. So what is the definition? Market supply schedule is a table showing different quantities of a commodity which all the firms are willing to sell at various levels of price during a given period of time. So that's the definition for this market supply schedule. Next is supply curve. Supply curve is the graphical representation of a supply schedule and shows positive relationship between price and quantity supplied. So you can see individual supply curve. Individual supply curve is a graphical representation of individual supply schedule. So as it is having direct relationship, it is shown here that at 1 rupee the quantity supplied is 20. So as price increases, the quantity supplied increases. So you can just see how will you mark. Quantity supplied is marked in x-axis and the price is marked in y-axis. So first is at 1, you can just see at rupees 1, the quantity supplied is 20. So like here you have to mark. Next at rupees 2, the quantity supplied is 40. So here you have to mark. Then at rupees 3, price 3, the quantity supplied is 60. So here you have to mark. Then at 4, quantity supplied is 80. So it is marked here. Then by joining this, you will be getting the supply curve that slope upward due to direct relationship between price and quantity supplied, which is because of law of supply. Market supply curve is a graphical representation of market supply schedule. This curve is horizontal summation of the two things, that is two suppliers we had studied earlier, that is 20, the supplier A is supplying 20 units and supplier B is supplying 5 units, and you can say by adding these two, that is it's related to price. So if it's 1 rupee only, he is ready to sell 20 and this person is ready to sell 5. So this summation you will be getting as 25. So like that you can just see here that how it's marked. So you can see here at 1 rupee he is marking supplier A is ready to sell 20, and here at 1 rupee the supplier B is ready to sell 5. So by adding these two you will be getting 25. So it has been moved this side, that is from here 25 is marked. So it's a market supply curve. So like that in each schedule, that is 40 plus 10 is 50, then 60 plus 20 is 80, then 80 plus 30 is 110. So like that he is marking at a different level. It's showing that the supplier A's curve separately, supplier B's curve separately, and market supply curve separately. So like that you can see by adding these two you will be getting the market supply curve. This is individual supply curve. So that is A of a consumer, that is producer A, and producer B is this, and the whole market supply is this one. So hope you understood. So here that is supply function refers to the functional relationship between the quantity supplied and supplied of a commodity and the quantity supplied of a commodity and factors affecting it. So it's a supply function refers to the functional relationship between quantity supplied for a commodity and factors affecting it. So here certain factors that are being showed here. This price of related goods as we had studied in demand chapter. Next is price of factors of production, that is input that we are introducing for production, that is land we need for producing a thing, land, labor, capital and entrepreneur we need. So that are factors of production. Without them we can't produce things. So that's a price of factors of production. That is what the cost we are giving for the that is how many costs, that is by for land sometimes the producer may be giving rent, and labor the what are labor wages, and the capital interest or something, the some, that is some rent like that we will be giving. So that's that one. Next, government policy and change in technology, then expectation of future prices and a number of firms. These are always related to this supply function. So what's the supply function refers to the functional relationship between quantity supplied of a commodity and factors affecting it. So here one thing we have to see is determinants of that we have studied earlier, the determinants of demand we had studied. So here demand determinants of factors of affecting the supply we are going to study. That's price. So price is always so price of the commodity, if it's increasing, the quantity supplied will be increasing, and price will be decreasing, the quantity supplied will be decreasing. So the curve will be sloping towards upward. From downward it will be sloping towards upward. So that's the price of the commodity determined. Factors determining supply or determinants of supply. As I told you, one of the factor is price of the commodity itself. So this is the most important factor influencing the supply of the commodity, as you know. So this relationship between price and supply is known as the law of supply. So law of supply, as you had studied in the demand portion, law of demand. So it's the same as the demand portion, law of supply. Both are same relation with the price. Okay, so here it's a relation with the price of and supply. So it's known as what? Law of supply. So in other word, more is supplied at higher price and less is supplied at lower price. So you can see the notation: when price increases, supply increases, and when price P decreases, supply decreases. So this is one of the factor that is affecting the quantity supplied. So next is the next factor that you are going to say is types of technology in use. If advanced improved technology is used, the average cost of production falls, which raises the profit margin and introduce the seller to produce and supply more. On the other hand, use of absolute technology increase the average cost of production and tends to reduce the supply. So here one of the thing is introduced is type of technology in use. So if we are introducing improved the technology, the average cost of production false. So if machineries, if some persons are producing things with only labor intensive techniques, and if one of the capital intensive technique has been used, machines have been used, then what happens? The cost of product producing, that is wages that we are giving to the laborers, may decrease, may be reduced, or may be wholly removed, and instead of laborers, as machineries are doing the work, which raises the what profit margin, and induces the seller to produce more and more and supply more. So when machineries are introduced, what happens? New technologies are introduced, the supply may increase. And on the other hand, use of absolute technology increase the average cost of production and it tends to reduce supply. So here obsolete technology means outdated technology. It will, what happened, it will reduce the production and reduce the supply. So you can see the notation: advanced technology will increase the supply and obsolete technology will decrease the supply. So if a technology is increasing, supply or production may be increased, and if the outdated technology has been following in the production, the supply may be stagnant or may be going down. So next is price of other goods. The supply of a commodity depends upon the price of other goods, goods sold by the producer, as well as, for example, if a seller sells two goods say X and Y, which have the same price and the same cost of production, then the producer gets equal profit from both the goods. Now suppose price of X rises with the same cost of production, it is more profitable to sell X and compared to Y. Therefore producer will increase the production of X and decrease supply of Y with rise in the price of X. So it's on the basis of the same price, the same price factor, that if the two products have been produced by a producer, if he is having the tendency of producing two goods at the same rate of cost, sometimes in the market the goods X price may be increasing, or he may be thinking that of selling more products, or more products of X, and he, as a result, he will be producing more of the X commodity. As what is the reason for that? He may be thinking that it is more profitable to sell X as compared to Y. Therefore producer will increase supply to X and decrease the supply of Y with the rise in the price of X. So price of input used. If the price of any of the inputs increases, the cost of production goes up. So I had told you there are different inputs that we are using for the production, that is land, labor, capital, like that. Different production inputs are there. So if the price of any of the input increases, that is if the labor is charging more wages, or if the rent has been increased, so the production process may, what happen, the production may be, the producer may be producing less. So if the input cost is decreasing, if the input cost is decreasing, what happens? The production may be increasing. So the same thing has been explained here. So if prices of inputs used, if the prices of input use of the input increases, the cost of production goes up. So similarly, when the price of input decreases, the cost of product falls. Now increase in cost will decrease the profit margin. So it will be decreasing the profit margin and reduce the supply of the commodity, and whereas decrease in the cost will increase the profit margin and increase in the supply of the commodity. So what happens here? Price increases. What happened? The producer will supply less, and if price decreases, the producer will supply more. So that is the price of input decreases. Okay, so that is the main point that we have to see here. So next is government policy. So excise duty is levied on production exceeding a particular amount of quantity of a good produced. Any increase in the such taxes, cost of tax increases in the taxes increases the cost of production and lowers the margin of profit. So if taxes increases, we have to pay more tax, and as a result cost of production will also increase, and what happens, the profit margin of the producer will be affected or will be lowered, and as a result the production process may be low and producer may be producing low. Hence increase in the excise duty will reduce the supply, and similarly decrease in the excise duty will decrease the supply. Subsidies are provided by the government to the producer, which reduces their cost of production. If subsidies are provided, the profit margin rises and therefore supply increases. If subsidies are reduced or removed, supply decreases. So here two concept government policies have been explained. First one is about tax, and second one is about subsidies. So subsidies, if a government is giving in favor of the producer, he will be having an he will be having an assistance from the government, and he will be producing more. And if he will be producing more, and if subsidies are reduced or removed, he will be decreasing his production. As a result supply decreases. So the chart you can see here, taxes increases, supply decreases, and taxes decreases, supply increases. Subsidies increases, supply will be increasing, and the subsidies decreases, supply will be decreasing. So subsidies has direct relationship. Okay. Extension and contraction in or change in quantity supplied, movement along the supply along the same supply curve. So these are the questions may be asked. So expansion or extension, both are same. So it's on the basis of supply. So we had studied in the what demand portion about demand. So here we are going to study the supply portion. So expansion, when quantity supplied increases due to increase in price, it is called expansion of supply. So when the price increases, what happened? Quantity supplied increases. So other things remaining the same. So other things means other factors that are affecting, that we had studied the technology, etc., etc. So they may be technology, and other prices of goods, that may be always constant. So only price may be changing. So reason, increase in price. So what is the reason for the shift? That's a movement, that's a increase in price. It is also known as upward movement of the same curve, same supply curve. Okay. So next is contraction. When quantity supplied decreases due to decrease in price, it is called contraction in supply. So reason is decrease in price. So other things are not affecting, only price is affecting, as I told you. It is also known as downward movement of the same supply curve. So it's just a downward movement of the supply curve. So it's a contraction. So it's the curve. So you can see when the price increases P1 to P2, the quantity supplied also increases from Q1 to Q2. So it is showing a movement upward. Okay, so it's an extension. So here you can see the extension. So if the price is decreasing, the quantity supplied or the quantity produced will be decreasing. So it's a shifting downwards. So it's known as what? Contraction. Hope you understood. It's just same as the demand curve. So next is change in the supply, shifts in supply curve, or it's also known as increase or the decrease in supply curve. So increase in supply. So here other factors will change. Here own price of the commodity will be constant. So here it's just opposite, price is constant and other factors alone changes. So when more is supplied at the same price due to change in other factors, it is called the increase in supply. Favorable changes. So if the cost of production, if he thinks that cost of production is okay, if he thinks that cost of production is okay, he will be producing more and increases the supply. Here decrease in supply is when less is supplied at the same price due to change in other factors. It is known as what? The it is known as what? Decrease in supply. So it's unfavorable changes. So he may be not getting, as much of profit as he had thought. So his cost of production has been increased. So as a result he will be supplying less. So that is known as decreasing supply. So decrease in supply, and reason is unfavorable changes. It causes leftward shift in supply curve. Here it causes rightward shift in supply curve. See how shifts happens. So it's a rightward shift, that is S to S1. Here it's the leftward shift, that is S to S1. So it is decrease in supply curve, and it is increase in supply curve. Here decrease in supply curve, here increase in supply curve. So prices have been becoming constant. So both prices are constant. So it's on the basis of other things happening, changes are happening. So here we will be just seeing the important questions that may be asked in this is movement along supply curve which shifts in supply curve. So movement, it shows change in quantity supplied. So increase occurs due to change in price. Here increase occurs due to change in price. Here other things changes and factor remains constant. It occurs due to a change in other factors like change in technology, change in price of related goods, change in government policies, etc. Here movement is there on the same supply curve. Here it shifts the supply curve either to left or it's to right. So you can see here the movement is along the same supply. When price increases, supply increases. So you can see that it's moving upward. Then if price decreases, the supply decreases, it's moving downwards. So it's a contraction. The blue curve is known as contraction in supply. Blue arrow is known as contraction in supply, and red arrow is known as expansion in supply. So here you can see just shift in the supply curve. Shift becomes what a rightward shift when the supply increases, when other factors changes, and leftward shift if price becomes constant and other factors change. Next concept is elasticity of supply. As demand you had studied, this also has first one, perfectly inelastic supply, that is elasticity S is equal to 0. When quantity supplied does not change at all in response to change in price of a commodity, the supply for that commodity is said to be perfectly inelastic. So there is no change in the what supply of the commodity. If a price increases or decreases, there is no change in the supply of the commodity. It doesn't makes any addition to the supply of the commodity. So producer will not produce as much if there is any change in the price. So in such cases, elasticity of supply is equal to 0. So and as a result, the supply curve becomes parallel to y-axis. So change in the delta P changes while there is no change in delta Q. So delta, that is quantity supplied, is equal to delta Q. Here is quantity supplied. Okay. So it's equal to 0. Putting delta Q equal to 0 formula, as we can see that the graph is shown here. If there is an increase in the price, there is no such increase or increase, no such increase. As you know, price increases, the supply increases. There is no such increase in the supply, and also when the price decreases, there is no change in the supply also. So yes, elasticity of supply is equal to 0. So that is perfectly inelastic supply curve. Hope you understood. Second is less than unit elastic supply, that is ES is less than 1. When percentage change in quantity supplied is less than percentage change in price, the that is there is any slight change in the prices will not affect that is simultaneously or same proportion. It will not affect the quantity supplied. So it's only having a slight change. So that is known as what the less than unit elastic supply. So the supply for the commodity is said to be less than unit elastic or relatively inelastic. So there is no elasticity, or it's a relatively inelastic. Here change in delta Q is less than the change in delta P. So thus putting these in the formula, ES becomes less than 1. Graphically, the supply curve here is steeper and starts from x-axis. So we can see the supply. So this is the supply curve. So you can see that ES is less than 1. It is steeper. So there is no as much of change in the quantity supplied. So that is if a price is increasing or decreasing, there is no change in the quantity supplied. So it's just a slight steeper. Let's say it's just not having what it's just a sleeper change. You can say that when it was what that is parallel to y-axis, the previous curve. So you can see here it's just a steeper or just a slight what change. But if a large change in price, there is a slight change in quantity supplied. So that's the curve here. So next is unit elastic supply. So here ES equal to 1 when percentage change in quantity supplied is equal to percentage change in price. So it's both are equal. So the supply for the commodity is said to be unit elastic. Here change in delta Q is equal to change in delta P. Thus putting this formula, ES becomes equal to 1. Graphically, supply curve is straight line passing through the origin. So you can see the supply curve. So you can see the elasticity of supply curve equal to 1 unitary elastic. So it's just what that is, it's equal to 1. Okay, so you can say that it's what just cutting the middle of the this curve. So you can see that this is equal separation. So ES that is equal, ES equal to 1. Price and quantity supplied is equally separated. Okay, so in this same curve you can just learn this previous one, that is the topic we had a previous one, that is less than unitary elastic, that is ES ES is less than 1. So that is S2 curve. Okay, so it's a more understanding from the same figure. So it's just steeper. You can see it is a steeper curve. Okay, so that is S2. S2 curve is steeper, so its ES is less than 1. So here next is we are going to study is more than unit elastic supply. So here ES is greater than 1. When percentage change in supply is more than percentage change in price, the that is supply is more than the price, the percentage change in the price. So it's known as what, more than unitary elastic supply. So the supply is said to be more than unit elastic or highly elastic. Here a change in delta Q is more than the change in delta P. Thus putting this in formula, you will get ES becomes more than 1, and graphically supply curve is flatter and starts from the x-axis. So you can just see, so this the it's starting from the x-axis, you know, so it's just touching the x-axis. Okay, just steep, that is flat, it's going down, so it's S1. So it's more than unitary elastic. So it's ES is greater than 1 is the position of S1 curve. So hope you understood. So next is fifth one is perfectly elastic supply, ES equal to infinity. When the supply for a commodity expands or contracts to any extent without any change or with very little change in price, the supply for the commodity is said to be perfectly elastic or infinitely elastic. In such a situation, we can say that such a situation we can say that supply curve becomes horizontal and parallel to x-axis. Hence delta Q changes while there is no change in delta P. That is, delta P is equal to 0 and price doesn't changes, but quantity demanded changes. Quantity supplied changes. Thus putting delta P is equal to 0 in the formula, ES becomes infinity. Hope you understood this concept. There is no change in price, but the quantity supplied alone changes. That is, ES is equal to infinity. That is how the supply goes on increasing. So that is the situation. Hope you understood. Next, you are going to study the elasticity of supply using percentage method. Elasticity of supply, the formula is the same as delta Q by delta P into P by Q. So the same formula of elasticity of demand is here used. So here the quantity supplied, Q means quantity supplied and P means price of the commodity. So in the market. So that is the formula. So here one question is there. The price increases from rupees 10 to 15. As a result, quantity increases from 100 units to 120 units. So calculate the price elasticity of supply by employing percentage method. So that this is the question. So how will you do it? That you are going to study. So initial quantity Q1 equal to 100. So the new quantity is as the price changes, the new quantity the quantity supplied is 120, and initial price, as you know, that it is 10. So the new price is 15. So how will you calculate this using the same formula? As you know, you had studied earlier. So this is the answer. So how will you find it? You can just see that is 100 minus 120 divided by 10 minus 15. So that is change that is taking place. So minus 20 minus 5 into the initial price is 10 and the initial quantity was supplied was 100, and you can just divide and multiply it, then you will be getting 0.4. So here we can say that ES equal to 0.4, that is less than 1. So it's a relatively inelastic supply or less than elastic supply. So that is this first question. So another question we can see. Students, the problem is same as you have done in elasticity of demand. So you can do these two questions as homework. So if you have any doubt, please ask me. Thank you, students.